Hey everyone. Hopefully, if you have started reading chapter 6, you will find it to be a little bit of a brain break from chapter 5. We're starting to get into some more interesting concepts with some of the problems in statistics and some of the interpretations. Not having to do quite as much math in this one. You'll notice there's no numbers on my board, right? So that's a good start. So I'm going to cover a couple of the key points in chapter 6. We're going to talk about type 1 and type 2 errors. We're going to talk about statistical significance versus practical significance or clinical significance. And we're going to talk about effect size and meta-analysis. We probably won't cover all this in one video. There's probably going to be a couple videos for chapter 6. So first of all, a type 1 and a type 2 error. Let's start with the type 1 error. If you remember, when we talked about statistical significance, what we were saying is if we're setting statistical significance at a p equals 0.05 or p less than 0.05, what we're saying is my numbers are showing that there is a 5% chance or less, there's a less than 5% chance that I could have arrived at this purely by chance, purely by coincidence. Okay. However, 5% is not zero, right? There still is a 5% chance. If your P was 4.1, your P is less than 5%, you have statistical significance, but you're saying there's a 4.1% chance that this could have been by coincidence, by chance, right? And this is where we get into a type 1 error. A type 1 error is when you have rejected the null hypothesis when the null hypothesis was actually the correct option. This is why replicability is so important in statistics. If you've taken research methods, you should recognize the term replicability. If you've ever been watching anything on the news or read an article and they say, these research found this, but we haven't been able to replicate the study. The idea behind replication is I can repeat that research and get a similar result to what you did. Let's use one of our examples before. If we're going to use that one research article where we found that female education majors tend to have very high levels of anxiety, and we were going to propose an anxiety reduction method for female education majors at Drury, right? Let's say we made a program, we did a pre-test and a post-test, and we found out, all right, this is significant. We helped our female education majors be less stressed. Let's say we did the same thing again next year, and it didn't work. We didn't get statistically significant results. We could say, okay, it was a fluke. Maybe this year's students, there was something different about them, that it was less effective. But that should be a red flag, right? And we do it again and again and again. And if we keep getting non-significant results, we have to question, okay, maybe the statistical significance from the first time around, maybe that was a fluke. Maybe we should have accepted the null hypothesis that our intervention didn't do anything, that we didn't make a difference. So a type 1 error is when you've rejected the null hypothesis, you've got a statistically significant result, you've said, yay, my research hypothesis was correct, but it actually wasn't. You had a fluke in your data. And the only way to know if that has happened is through replicability. I will end this video here, and then part 2 is going to be about type 2 errors.